to the showcase, baby. Oh, the showcase, righteous mind, it's your time to shine, the showcase, righteous mind, it's your time to shine, the showcase.
Today we got a special guest, Sister Jamila, also known as the Muslima poet, and our title is From Glam to Islam. You may know her from the Juice Crew, known as Glamorous. So let's get into it. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Well, as most of us know you, as most of us know you, we know you from the Juice Crew.
Yes. So,
let us know, what is your journey, or how long have you been practicing Islam?
by the mercy of Allah, alhamdulillah, I've been reverted for over 23 years now.
Okay, 23 years, so that's quite some time there. So, what has been your journey from then to now? What has traveled? What have you been doing since then? What's your journey?
Okay, subhanAllah. I started writing in the 70s, and I became a recording artist in the 80s. And that's when I joined the Juice Crew. Before I joined the Juice Crew, I was with the Glamour Girls on Pop Art Records. I did one song, and then I joined Juice Crew, and then we did Juice Crew All Stars, and I did my LP. I signed with Cold Chillin', but my record came out on Prism. And then I worked with various different producers. The last producer that I worked with before I embraced Islam was Nile Rodgers from Chic.
Okay.
And I put the mic down. I left the industry. And I was told that I couldn't do that anymore, the recording and so forth. That's what I was told. But I learned on my own, because you have to learn and read Quran and Hadith for yourself, you know. So that's what I did, and I was a wife, a mother, and I still wrote my lyrics, but they were all Islamic. I would sing to my children when they were born, and I would play with them and, you know, make different Islamic sayings so they could remember certain things, like to do it to go to sleep, do it to wake up, to do it to eat. You know, I would just create, you know, different things that rhyme so they can remember.
That pretty much came easy to you.
Oh, subhanAllah, yes it did, and it helped to remember certain aspects of the deen. You know, that's how I did that. And so my journey through doing all of that, Nimwa happened. There was a Northeast Muslim Women Alliance conference, and Sister Sakina Kareem was the president at the time, and her daughter was doing a production for the entertainment of that conference, and I was asked, you know, so that's when I came back out and with the sisters. So I was performing for the sisters only.
All right, so just to clarify for a lot of people, you didn't always practice Islam, just because they don't understand what revert or convert.
That's right. I was a Christian.
Okay.
My mother was an evangelist. She was an ordained minister, and she raised me in the church. She had her own church. And that's, I've always, you know, have been spiritual, I guess, and connected to the Creator. And I never met my father, so I always would look to Allah for everything. That was my best friend, my master, my guardian. I looked to the Creator for everything. And so I was, as a servant, you know, at the time, there were things going on in my life that were very, just not normal. I was getting very sick. stressed out, and I turned to Allah, got down on my knees, and I just said, "Let the truth come to the light," and that's how.
Okay, so
I
let us know, what was there a particular event that happened that made you at a particular time say, "I want to take my shahada, my convert to Islam"? Can you tell us about that?
Well, what got me really, really on the path was I was experiencing something with my ex-husband, and I got in the car and I was driving, and I went down the street the wrong way, and I didn't realize it, and I looked like I was going off the Brooklyn Expressway, the bridge.
Okay.
There was a fence there. The car drove by itself, and my hands was like this, and the car drove a block to a light and stopped, and I said, "God drove this car." And after that, I went and got baptized. I kid you not. It was like, I know. It was like this feeling you get, like, okay, I'm not dying. It's not my time. And I started walking a path. And then shortly after that, I didn't even know I was going to be Muslim. I did not know I was going to be Muslim. I just remember calling Now Rogers up and saying, I can't do the album.
Okay.
Because I was on Chic Mystique, and he took my voice off because I told him I couldn't do it. And I still got the lyrics I wrote for Good Times. I was going to redo Good Times.
Okay.
And I had to stop all of that. And I took my Shahada. I took my Shahada at 17, and then I had to take it again because my mom didn't let me practice at 17. So I became the recording artist in between 17 and 22.
Okay.
That's my era. 17 and 22 was when I was doing my recording and traveling and so forth, and going through whatever I experienced in the dunya, So yeah, I never drank, I never smoked, but I was around it.
Okay.
I just loved hanging out with, the other rappers, and it was just fun for me at the time. I was a teenager. I was having fun and traveling. It was good. I hung around with Spectrum, who is now Public Enemy, Spectrum, whatever they call themselves now, but with Chuck D, Flavor, all of them. I used to just be with them. But I'm this little girl that used to tag along with them. They were all older than me. But I'm this little girl just running around wanting to be a rapper. But I met Sweet Tea, and that's when I did the song, "Oh, Veronica, Veronica," with Sweet Tea, Sinsky, and myself. And that was the record that made me the first female rapper from Long Island.
Okay, from Long Island. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So let's fast forward, and let us know what activities you're doing now. What do you have going on in your community? Okay.
I assist in washing the female Muslims for burial.
Okay.
I assist in that. I volunteer for ICNA Relief. I volunteer for Y Islam. And I am an ICNA Sisters wing. I'm with the ICNA Sisters wing of New York. I'm with NIMWA. I'm the secretary for NIMWA, Northeast Muslim Women Alliance. And I volunteer with SOS when I can. Save Our Streets, Crown Heights. I'm into outreach, stop the violence, peace awareness, whatever I can help with humanity.
Okay.
I like.
Now, I believe we have something here. You did speak about an album that you did have, and I believe we have that with us today. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, the LP I did on Prism, Good to Go, and I Know You Want Me.
Two-sided LP.
Yeah, yeah. That was produced by Howie T.
Okay.
And people seem to like that, and I rewrote the lyrics to Good to Go.
Okay.
There's supposed to be a Juice Crew reunion, but they haven't called me yet. And, yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I don't know. I do spoken word now.
Okay. And, we appreciate your time and efforts to come up here and share your time with us. But if you don't mind, we would like you to do a little something for us before we log off the air today, if you don't mind, sister.
Well, I have a special piece that I did when I did this piece at Queens College, and it seemed to have got quite a few antennas up.
Okay.
This is my piece called His Voice. It's spoken word. Bismillah. When I used to hear his voice, it was a sound I could hear with pleasure and melody. A sound so alluring, dominant, and commanding. A sound I got used to. His voice was outstanding. And the sound of his voice made me obey. I felt every single word his voice did say. Now, the sound of his voice makes me cry. When I hear his voice, a tear falls from my eye. His mouth pursued me. His mouth told me things. His mouth gave me promises. His mouth has a voice that rings. His mouth controlled me with the things he told me while I was focusing on his mouth and what he was saying. I did not notice his mental capacity, the hidden agenda, strategy, the mind playing, manipulated, captivated by his voice. The sound and a manipulation and captivation without hesitation, it gave such a sensation of a verbal communication, not focusing. I tried to grasp understanding. I failed comprehending the mental seduction of his voice as it was commanding. I became weak. I became a fool. Now I have to condition myself to be cool. Calm down, relax, let it go. When I hear the sound that makes me cry, my heart beats slow. I need to learn to dry my eye and pray for the coolness of my eyes and not to cry when I hear his voice when he speaks. I can't look at the hole between his cheeks, even his lips as they move along with his voice has a groove. I must learn to fight the pain and suffering I put myself through. I made myself believe things untrue. Opening my heart and my mind to the sound of his voice, a mistake, a bad choice. I must change the condition in my breast so Allah can change my condition and put my old condition to rest. Patience is helping. I'm blocking out the sound, no more feelings when his voice comes around. I'm training myself to ignore that melody that controlled me, training my soul, the inner essence of me, not to be moved or swayed by the sound of his voice, hoping the sound will fade. Maybe I'm not too late. Already my heart feels hate because he played and I've been betrayed. His voice got the best of me. I was acting out of character and I was about to lose my spiritual raiment along with my mind. I cried all the time. I tried all the time to convince myself to let go. The voice I hear and too familiar and know. I must change how I respond. I'll keep fighting the sound until the sound of his voice is gone. This voice, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. This voice is the voice of shaitan.
That's beautiful. Remember, you heard it here first. We like I said, we thank you for your time, and hopefully in the near future we'll be hearing more from you. Do you have any upcoming things, any albums or anything that you're progressing on that you care to share with us to look out for?
Okay. I'm working on 2 books. One is poetry, and the other one is just talking about tips on relationship. Is well, actually for sisters in the dean, which is very important that the youth need to know when looking for a spouse. Know your worth. So I'm working on that, and I have 2 CDs, which is in production. Because of my illness, I have sarcoidosis, inflammatory disease in the lungs, and that has been a challenge for me. I'm living with it. I can, do work when I can,
Okay.
But hopefully, inshallah, it'll get done. And people can follow me on Glam for Life,
Okay.
Twitter, and the Muslima Poet, Sister Jamila, on Facebook.
Okay.
And the Muslima Poet at AOL.com is my email address.
SubhanAllah. Alhamdulillah. Well, that's the end of our show for today. We thank you, Miss Muslima Poet. And we thank you for watching. Once again, this is Rashid Hafiz, signing off at the Showcase. See you next time.
Wake up with a smile on my face, ready to see what the day brings. Not gonna stress, not gonna be upset, but gonna remember how I'm so blessed. You make the world go round, what's up comes down, make the night turn to day, and the negativity goes away. When the remembrance of you is broken, yeah, this is my token. Feels like I'm floating on cloud 9. You make me feel like this all the time. I get so lost in you, how you do what you do. Your love is so divine. Walk in the park, a stroll after dark, alone in my room, my time with you. Ooh, express my sincere love for the one up above. You make the world go round, what's up comes down, make the night turn to day, and the negativity goes away. When the remembrance of you is broken, yeah, this is my token. Feels like I'm floating on cloud 9. You make me feel like this all the time. I get so lost in you, how you do what you do. Your love is so divine. Feels like I'm floating on cloud 9. You make me feel like this all the time. I get Like this all the time. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Tiffany Denise. I'm Tona Soul. We are the owners of Vibe Center Candle Co. We sell candles and soaps that pay homage to New York City and hip hop. Like, for instance, you can see this. This is our All About the Brandy Mint candle. All about the Brandy Mint, baby. And it is wood wick. It's also infused with peppermint. So it also crackles when you light it because it has a wood wick. It smells so good. And then this is Black and the Berry. Smooth in a candle. There you go. Okay. That one is actually blueberry muffin. And it also is infused with brown sugar. We have sugar honey iced tea because it is the English tea. It's infused with green tea. This one also has a wood wick as well. It smells so good. It smells like almonds and apricot honey.
Wait. Who got it going on?
Sweet apple.
She got it going on.
That one is apple hermit. It smells so good. It smells like an apple, one of those apple candies that you would get from Coney Island. Yes, that's what it smells like. And that one is actually mixed with caramel praline, so it gives it that extra Coney Island apple flavor. We got Earl T-shirt. This one is also from our herbal tea line, and it's infused with the wig, and it has Earl Grey black tea.
And the good thing about our herbal tea line is that we actually have soaps to go with them. So each soap is the same exact scent as our herbal tea.
And so for instance, we have the Juicy. The Juicy is this candle, the Juicy candle. It smells so good. It has an orange and cream flavor to it. This one is actually an oatmeal shea butter bar. So it has oatmeal chunks in it, which is good exfoliating. And it's also infused with a sweet wild tea. There's orange tea inside of it, and that's also good for exfoliating and waking you up.
We also have some floating candles here.
Floating candles.
For Valentine's Day. So if you got babe, you're like, oh, I just want to spice up the night. The floating candles will definitely
So you got water and you got fire. Ain't no more than that. I mean, come on, like, come on, sis. Like,
These are actually scented. Right. These are actually scented with raspberry lilac. So sweet.
Yes.
Or you can actually find us on our website, vibecentercandleco.com. What's our Instagram?
Our Instagram at Vibe Center Candle Co. Yes.
Make sure you hashtag Ignite the Vibes each time we post anything.
Hashtag want to be lit. Hashtag candles for the culture.
For the culture.
Thank you guys.
These are not words from me. These are words from a member of the community, a Master Khalifa, Brother Abdullah, a pillar in the community. Brother Abdullah, the barber man. Pops took me to your shop as an adolescent. I always saw you up at Juma, Winnie a thon call. When I entered Timbuktu, I knew you'd give a response call. You've been a lot for sure, steady, humble hand. Brother Abdullah will miss you, the barber man. I say you been a lot for sure, steady, humble hand. Brother Abdullah will miss you, the barber man. I remember the first time that I sat in your chair. I was quiet but knew that you wouldn't mess up my hair. A high top fade, how'd you get my level so laid? I felt like special ed cause I knew that I had it made. You shook my hand and then you called me Brother Rashid. And as a young man that helped build up my self-esteem. As time passed through, I grew and grew, got older and taller. As I developed more, I wanted my cuts smaller and smaller. I had outgrown high tops, even my ponytail. I wanted pointed sideburns, you always did them well. You smiled and said that you're becoming a man. As you lined my mustache, though it barely came in. You took pride in your work, it was like your baby. I learned a lot in your shop, it partly raised me. The community is hurting cause you had to go, but you will always be remembered when we walk through that door. Cause your brother, Abdullah, the barber man, Pops took me to your shop as an adolescent. I always saw you up at Juma, Winnie a Thon call. When I entered Timbuktu, I knew you give a response call. You been a lot for sure, steady, humble hand. Brother Abdullah will miss you, the barber man. I say you been a lot for sure, steady, humble hand. Brother Abdullah will miss you, the barber man. I started coming without Pops, but on a different day. But then I realized I missed Saturday's debates. Brothers on a chessboard doing a whole lot of talking. You could learn a lot cause they was history walking. I learned that Timbuktu was more than just getting paid. At least 3 generations touching comb and blade. Now that's history, starting at a young boy's misery. Shaking in the chair, but the candy was the trickery. Years later, hired him to clean up the hair. A young boy's first job, you was always there. You hired younger barbers to relate to younger debates. Let us play hip-hop if it was clean with taste. Just like Mike did Thriller, Ali Thriller in Manila. In our community, you're one of the strongest pillars. Physically, you're gone now, paradise we pray. But the memory of you in Timbuktu will always stay. Brother Abdullah, the barber man, Pops took me to your shop as an adolescent. I always saw you up at Juma, Winnie and Thon call. When I entered Timbuktu, I knew you give a response call. You meant a lot for sure, steady, humble man. Brother Abdullah will miss you, the barber man. I say you meant a lot for sure, steady, humble man. Brother Abdullah will miss you, the barber man. Brother Abdullah, the barber man. Pops took me to your shop as an adolescent. I always saw you up at Juma, Winnie and Thon call. When I entered Timbuktu, I knew you give a response call. You been a lot for sure, steady, humble man. Brother Abdullah will miss you, the barber man. I say you been a lot for sure, steady, humble man. Brother Abdullah will miss you, the barber man.